Morning, class. Coming up in Working Class Heroes this week, it was a winner-takes-all affair in Centurion as Brakpan visited North Gauteng. Top spot in Pool D was up for grabs, with Hamilton's making the trip to Rustenburg. And defending champions Dispatch was seeking the final summit of Pool A at Old Selbornians. Pool C was the only group in this year's Cell C Community Cup where the qualifiers were yet to be decided, as the fifth and final round came into view. With Roses United expected to beat winless Noordlikus, the last available spot would be fought out alongside SuperSport Park between refreshed Centurion and G5 Metals Brakpan. Following Langa Damba's opening try, Franco Boysen fought his way over to give the visitors a 14-3 lead after 13 minutes. However, slick handling from Olafir, Stro, Moore, Kutsia and an inside pass from Gerard van der Merwe sent Sibongile and Jomba away untouched. This despite being a man down after Xerxes Oosthuizen's yellow card. Moore tapped over the conversion to reduce the deficit to 4 points. Centurion were back to 15 and into the lead for the first time when Damba's pop from the ground was gleefully accepted by van der Merwe, who sped away. Moore added the extra 2 while Stanley Twinham and Guido Horn traded penalties. The home side 20-17 up at half-time. With the match and progression in the balance, the respective coaches had stern words for their players at the break. The Blue Bulls representatives' line-out went awry with the ball slipping through Stro's hands, but skipper Kutsia was at the right place at the right time to extend his team's lead. Moore scored the bonus point try and converted as Centurion started to pull away at 32-17, but a memorable comeback would be witnessed in the shadow of the Gautrain rail. Tinus Okerman stabbed through, sitting up perfectly for Toby Stradom. Brakpan were dealt a blow when Captain Francois Robertson was yellow-carded, but they dug deep and still managed to maul themselves close to the line before securing their bonus point through Okerman. The drama wasn't over and Moore's risky chip was gathered by Damba, who stormed upfield and executed a perfectly weighted grubber. Vickers van der Berg displayed his pace for a tournament-leading 7th try to tie up the pulsating clash. Hein Cornier missed the conversion as the sides were now locked on 15 log points. The teams fought tooth and nail for the last 10 minutes, but when the final whistle was blown, there was ecstasy from the men in blue who progressed on points difference.
Centurion, Brakpan's kant af, thanks. Probeer het van Tavius hierso. En het was lekker fisies. Well done, geluk aan julle. En enjoy it.
It was a drive fest. Yeah, good comeback from my boys and I'm really proud of them. Showed a lot of character and a bit unlucky at the second half, but that's rugby.
We knew it was going to be a tough game, and you know, that's like rugby. For the fans out there that supported us as well, obviously on their side as well, it's great to play rugby when you've got fans and supporting, and this venue especially.
Roses United embarked on an epic journey of more than 1,600 kilometers from Wellington to Polokwane to ensure that they remained Pool C leaders after the round-robin phase.
Ons voorbereiding is goed. Ons werk al hard van November af. Soos ek al voorheen gesê het, ons is 'n baie jong span en ons werk met 'n 3-jaar plan. So ja, ons voorbereiding is goed en ons gaan die ding doen vandag.
Die druk is beseker daar. Daar was ons opdrag gegee om net kalm te bly en te execute, om te doen wat ons die beste doen en te speel volgens die gameplan.
They were odds-on favourites to beat winless Noordlikus, but the home side were first to strike. Maynard Smith breaching the defence in the 10th minute. Ryan Julie slotted his second penalty before Roses stole the home side's line-out. Tian Ramat and Gareth Salia fed Loan Libber, who made a half break and got his pass away to Gershwin Moses. The inside centre scored his second shortly thereafter as the Boland champions hit their stride. After kicking the conversion, Brendan April secured the bonus point, the right winger bamboozling the defence before cutting inside and trotting over. Julie's converted 27-7 at the break. Skipper Smith dotted down for a second time in almost identical fashion, but that just delayed the inevitable. Even when things didn't go according to plan, Roses still made it work, and Cheney Willemse released Adrian Jacobs, who picked up from his feet. The replacement broke inside and then passed to April for his second. With the scoreline mounting at 37-14, the visitors gave all the teams heading to George another reason to fear them, their ability to score from anywhere. Langefontein broke out from his own 22, strode upfield and delivered an untroubled pass to live wire scrum of Tian Ramat. Jacobs added a 6 to bring up the half-century before Taiman Jongbloed dotted down for the Limpopo club. Roses would add further icing to the cake when Stefanus Wessel scooped up a loose ball from a Noordicus knock-on and passed overhead to Jacobs, who became the third Bolander to score a brace of tries for the afternoon. 58-21 the final score and top spot confirmed.
Ja, ek dink hulle is baie beter as ons gewees. Ek dink hulle balverspreiding en balhantering is regtig goed gewees en ons kon net nie die gate toemaak nie. Ek dink ons het 'n swaarder pak as hulle gehad en ons het net te stadig oor die veld gekom.
Ek dink ons moet nederig bly. Ons moet weer terug oor die veld toe gaan, die klein leemtes wat daar nog is, moet ons regmaak en dan moet ons net beter execute in George en meer akkuraat wees.
From the northernmost province to the northwest, where Hamilton's travelled almost 1,500 kilometres to Rustenburg, with top spot in Pool D up for grabs. Hemis and Impala set to face their first real test of the season.
We're just going to focus on what we've been doing well. Today we're not really focusing on what Rustenburg do. If we do what we've been building up over the last 3 games, I'm sure that the result will look after itself.
You play the best that you can. I want to see this team molded to perfection after this game.
I think the game plan will always be the same. The most important thing is to play into the structures for this game. For both teams it's going to be a hard game because we want to end up top of the lock to play the team that's going number 2.
The home side were determined to secure first place and they set about their task early on. Michael Nienaber displayed some fancy footwork to avoid countless tacklers before offloading to Earl Lewis. The right winger going over in just the 2nd minute. After Shane Wallander had opened Hamilton's account from the tee, Lewis was at it again. A delicate chip over the defender was neatly collected and planted beyond the try line. The visitors scored their first thanks to an Impala mistake. Dumasani Mateshana's wayward pass fell kindly for his opposite number, and Jean-Ray Duplessis plucked it up and sped away. Leading by 3, Willem Kok read the play perfectly and intercepted. He made the break, drew his man and released Lewis on his inside, who produced a massive step off his right foot and evaded Pierre Cronier to complete his hat-trick in just half an hour. Valke de Vet added the extra 2 and Wallander slotted a penalty to reduce the deficit to 7 points at the break.
We keeping them in the game. We are doing all the playing, they're doing the missed tackles, they're making tackles that they can't do. The guys are doing the playing, that's what we've got to keep on doing. Take the game to them all the time.
Hierdie helfte is ons helfte. Ons gaan haal hierdie game met die 4 uit. Ek wil nou toe gaan met 'n wen. Let's go!
Despite being down to 13 men, Hammy started to slowly gain the ascendancy. After tapping it onto Cronier, Jody Birch gathered the ball on the fullback's inside to level matters at 23-all. The Western Province reps took the lead for the first time through Terry Jacobs, but Nienaber hit back a few minutes later to secure the bonus point as Impala trailed by 2 with 14 to go. The man who contributed 23 points used his boot to great effect once again when his pinpoint cross kick found Johannes van Zyl. Wallander went on to slot the conversion, his 4th penalty and a drop goal. 43-28 the final scores. Hamilton set a quarter-final date with Centurion.
Ja, dit is 'n fisiese harde ene. Ons getoets, hele getoets. Ek dink dit is presies die regte ding wat ons nodig gehad het voor ons speel op van George. Sterker of af van George vir julle. Sterkte vir die toernooi daai kant. Thanks for a lekker harde game, Ragas.
Thanks, boys.
En sterkte, voorspoed. Thanks a lot.
It was a great game. It was altyd spanning goeie rugby gespeel, maar hulle het mooi gewen, boys. En as alles goed gaan, kan ons mekaar iewers daar op George kry.
All credit to Hamiltons. They came back and they never stopped trying, and we were well up for most of the game, and we let them back in, and they got the sniff, and you know, that's all they needed to really go back and put the nail in the coffin, as it were. We had opportunities, we didn't take them, we made mistakes. But if there is a game to lose, this would be it, because you know, I think we come down to earth, and now we get ready for the tournament.
We got the ball, we played the ball, we held the ball, which was one of our biggest problems the first half. But otherwise, yeah, we got it.
We move from Leopards country to the Northern Cape, where Weng Moelman Sishen welcomed Westbank, who had travelled up from the Boerland. The Griffins champions failed to win a match in 2013 and had their sights set on a second victory this season. The home side hit the ground mauling, and after Jamie Suchelaar's line-out take, the maul shifted to the right. Anthony de Villiers was in possession to get the scoreboard ticking. A penalty try for Sishen, and a Rodville Jonkers penalty followed, 14-3 after 18 minutes. A scrum didn't go according to plan, but when the ball emerged, Tian Leroux reacted swiftly and popped it up to 8th-man Suchelaar, who scored their third. Tight-head Nicolas Steyn picked the ball up from a ruck close to the line, but was repelled inches short. Second row Arnold Kutsia was there to secure the bonus point before half-time and a 28-3 advantage. Sishen continued where they left off after the break. Leonard Pullman becoming the second lock to add his name to the list. Westbank's scrum was under severe pressure close to their line, and as a result, Theodore Marinas' attempted clearance was charged down by Leroux. Ati du Plessis was also in on the act before Leroux scored his second. Johannes Slabber added a consolation, but 52-10 would be the final demolition as Sishen ended the competition in 11th place.
Ek dink ons het opgedaag vir die dag. Sishen was op einde van die dag die beter span. Hulle het meer konstruktief gespeel. Hulle was bereid om te veg vir die wen en dis waar wat op einde van die dag gegaan het.
The competition is over now. We're not going to the top 8, but I'm so proud of the guys, the way they ended the Community Cup, and we're looking forward for next year.
The men from Katu were the only home side to win in Pool C or D, as Roses and Hamiltons won away. The heart-stopping drawn Centurion certainly living up to its billing as Game of the Week. Roses comfortably topped Pool C, a massive improvement from last year when they managed just one victory. Despite only losing one game by 1 point, Brakpan are out. Hamiltons are at the summit of Pool D with a full house of 20 points. Sishen ended a credible third, while Westbank remained winless. Defending champions Gap Management Dispatch travelled to East London for a top of Pool A clash against Kempston Old Selbornians.
Today is deciding on who's finishing first or second in the pool. So two undefeated teams out of the last 3 games. So all to play for about who we're going to end up playing in that quarter-final down in George. So basically a mini quarter-final already today.
We came here to win the game with a bonus point. We want to show the people outside we are the champions.
The Eastern Province reps were hoping to avoid a repeat of last year's final, and victory would give them a last 8 showdown against Roodepoort. Warren Riley opened the scoring for Old Boys, but Dispatch somehow managed to reconvene a stuttering maul as hooker Robert Slubbert benefited. The lead was back in the home side's hands when Monty Dumont's ill-directed pass was intercepted by opposite number MJ Lamarquand. Billy Montour reduced the deficit when he ran onto Marlon Lewis's pass at pace, trailing 10-13 after 21 minutes. The right winger then helped his club hit the front, Dumont's cross kick finding Montour for his second. The visitors leading 17-16 at the break after another Riley penalty.
If Ellie's not contesting in the lineup, you need to get on him to enable him to do that. Okay, boys? Pressure.
Mintour completed a 23-minute hat-trick as Dispatch claimed the bonus point and started to take control. Lewis's over-the-head pass found the turf, but Dumont had time and space to scoop it up and score their fifth. The former Sharks fly-half kicked his third conversion and then his fourth, following a fourth try from Mintour, which he handled twice in the 68th minute. There would be no more scoring for the afternoon, as the defending champs secured a 38-16 victory and a knockout encounter against the West Randers.
Very disappointed with the last 30 there. I think we were really in it 17-16, 1 point down at half time. Whether it was the benches that made the difference, where our fitness levels dropped a little bit, we're going to have to just have a good hard think afterwards. But we really were in it for the first 50, and we're going to have a long hard think before George as to where we lost it at the end there.
I'm proud of the boys. You know, they dug deep. On one stage they pinned us in our 5 meters from the try line for 5 minutes, and we tackled like Trojans, and I'm very happy we took the 5 points with a bonus point as well, more than 4 tries, and you know, from here we can work on for the George tournament.
Rugby! Yes! Rugby! Yes!
Mossel Bay Barbarians made the trip up the coast to Port Elizabeth to meet Springrose at New Brighton Oval with third place up for grabs. The match was the epitome of a game of two halves. Quincy Jackson and Yaku Arendse dotted down as the Barbars shut out the blocks. They then added a third when quick hands in their own 22 got the ball to Waylon Anthony. The fullback executed a brilliant around-the-body pass to left-winger Logan Hendricks, who could not be stopped. Mornay Base missed the conversion but slotted the previous 2 and the one to come, as well as a penalty. The scrum half then turned provider on the blind side as Jerome Phillies wrapped up the bonus point and a dominant 29-5 lead at the break. Barbarians would not score another point as Springrose blossomed in the second half. Langa Tsotsobe started the wheel turning thanks to Francois Smith's accurate skip pass. It was the left winger's chance when Saviwe Mayake burst onto Pumezo Tom's pass at pace. Tembekile Mtaba and Zolani Faba also added 5 pointers to draw the match level at 29 all. With the bit between their teeth, Springrose surged upfield and the referee then blew his whistle for offside against Mossel Bay. Tom made no mistake from close range to hand the home side a nail-biting 32-29 victory, and with it 3rd spot in the pool and 12th place overall.
Springrose het net hulle kanse benut. Basiese aankeerfout het ons natuurlijk die wedstrijd gekost. Elke afwerter dink ek wil sy laaste game wen in die Community Cup. Maar ek dink dat sal goed wees vir ons manne as 'n stepping stone na die liga toe.
We started badly, man, first half. But second half, and then we rectified everything that we did wrong first half, and then we started scoring tries. We only had about 4 tries, and then a lucky penalty at the end, and then it's a win.
We move further up the east coast to Durban, where Eagle Towing Rovers had travelled from Welkom to KP3. Johnson College Rovers were expected to breeze past their namesakes and rack up another big score, but the Griffins champions proved to be a good test ahead of the Easter champs.
Accuracy is vitally important for us today going into the George tournament next week. Yeah, I think that's important for us. Is let's go out and do what we know and what we're trying to get out of this.
The local side did open the scoring. Chris Mickelwood was tackled 7 metres from the line and Cobus Lawrence picked up from the ruck, but was brought down agonisingly short. Warren Randall then recycled the ball quickly to loosehead Matthew Jones. The skipper kicked the conversion 7-0 after 8 minutes. The howling wind played a major factor throughout the match. Jaco Pretorius' pass swept forward, but Brima Morea latched onto the ball and rumbled through. He threw a wild delivery to Wayne Ludick, who got it away to Sean Nieuwenhuizen. The half-time scoreline surprisingly sitting at 7 apiece, as Welkom Rovers showed there were no pushovers. In the 56th, Jos Danhauser threw a wide pass across the faces of Jandre Small and Sanele Sebanda. Carl Wilkinson still had plenty to do, but got the job done. The outside centre then turned provider to Yonge Nokwe, who he placed into space. The former Bok winger outstripped the defence, cut back inside and galloped towards the poles for the KZN champions' third try. College Rovers had to fight until the 71st minute to eventually secure the bonus point. Small and Lawrence combining to send Richard Stradom in for the try, 26-7. The visitors would have the final say, however. Willem van Vuren's clearing kick under pressure fell kindly for him and he kicked it on further. Stephen Kekana ran onto the ball and around to the posts to bring an end to the arm wrestle. 26-14 the final scoreline, as the Durbanites made it 4 out of 4 and set up a quarter-final against Old Selbornians.
We came down here, we know exactly how they're playing. They're a well-balanced side and we were knowing what was up for us, but I think we played a good game against them.
We've got a big week ahead of us. We need to put a few more things in place before we can take confidence down to George. So I'm happy with where we are, but there's a big week ahead of us.
Another team from the Northern Free State were up against the Free State's top open club in our final match. EK Welkom played host to Bloemfontein Crusaders, who were aiming to go one better than 2013 and secure a second victory, while the Griffins wildcards were seeking a maiden win. Eddie Frederick's Chargers were there to play, and they displayed slick handling until Donovan Ball made the break. The flanker then passed superbly out of the tackle to Mangaliso Matakane, who fed Lebo Hangtsu. A second for the big lock. The forward showing the backline how it's done. The visitors then had their third in the 15th minute. Darren Colby's quick tap and a try for Don Manus. Following Christo Bosov's reply for Welkom, Griffin Colby grubbed it through for himself. The fullback made no mistake with the pickup and dive. Bonus point secured. Griffin was at it again on the half-hour mark when he broke out from his own half and cut back inside. After being scragged, he was aware of his support runners and made it available for 8-man Daniel Viljoen. Quinton Davids then scored the home side's second, 14-29 at half-time. Welkom staged a mini fight-back on either side of the break. Michael Pienaar's long pass found Malcolm Kerr-Till, who still had work to do but did it with aplomb. The fullback converted his try to cut the deficit to 10 points. The comeback was quickly snuffed out when Ball, Viljoen with his second, and replacement Jonathan Boucher all grabbed touchdowns. Griffin Colby converted all three to notch up the half-century, with 14 minutes left on the clock. Crusaders weren't done yet, and Jacques van Rooyen showed great handling and composure to complete their 9th of the afternoon. There was still time to hit double try figures after a Welkom knock-on. Van Rooyen secured possession and sent Boucher away for his second to complete a dominant 62-22 demolition. A satisfactory conclusion to Crusaders' campaign, ending a credible third in Pool B and 10th overall.
Defence let us down. We left too much spaces on the outside. They pulled us in and they played good running rugby and beat us on the ends.
It's the end of the Community Cup for us, unfortunately. We wanted to win this game to end up in the third place. And like I said, we're going to run the game today, so that's what we did.
Springrose's phenomenal comeback when they scored 27 unanswered second-half points was the talking point amongst the Pool A and B results, while College Rovers' less-than-dominant display will give other clubs hope. Dispatch head and shoulders above their Kings franchise region counterparts, while Old Boys can look back on their opening 1-point win over Springrose as a defining moment. College Rovers' massive 182 positive points difference highlighting the gulf in Pool B, but Rustenburg are still in with the shout as anything can happen in knockout rugby. The winner of the Rovers Old Boys match will play either Impala or Roses in the last 4, while Golden Lions champions Rustenburg will face Dispatch in the day's opening match for the right to play the winners of the Hamilton Centurion clash. After 40 matches played over 5 weeks at 20 venues countrywide, there will be 4 new teams fighting it out at Outeniqua Park from the 17th to the 21st of April for the iconic Gold Cup and the title of South Africa's champion non-university club. All 12 matches will be broadcast live on SuperSport. Don't forget to log on to sarugby.co.za for the latest Cell C Community Cup info and follow us on Twitter at SA Club Rugby.